Oh, nee niet. Let's start the day with a puncture.
5 minutes into a 300-kilometer race and I already had a flat. This is the Mallorca 312. 312 kilometers over 5,000 meters of climbing and 8,500 riders competing every year. This was my first time, so I started in the last start box.
Where's yellow? Great way to start a 10-hour bike ride.
With a goal time of under 10 hours, that meant I was overtaking people all day long. But before this day was over, I would flat twice.
Second time.
If you're riding the 312 soon, this video might save your race. This is not just a recap. I'm breaking down a precise feed zone and nutrition strategy, how to pace your effort over the day and not blow up.
Got some nice guys with me. Together we're strong.
How much you actually need to eat over 10 hours and how to recover mentally when things go wrong.
Could be better, could be worse.
I wrote this from the last start box and I still put down one of my strongest performances ever. Here's what actually matters if you want to ride a strong Mallorca 312.
Nice work, amigo! Yeah! Gracias. Another medal. Bang. Sun's out. Guns out. That's it.
$5:40. The race starts in less than an hour. Start box opens 10 minutes ago. I slept as long as possible.
And that's breakfast.
Just a cup of coffee. I'm going straight to the start line, straight into 312 kilometers of riding.
You're probably thinking, no breakfast before a 312 kilometer race? That's on purpose. I'll explain my nutrition strategy later, because this is one of the most misunderstood parts of the day. I just took a coffee, I took a dump, and go.
The hotel I'm staying is like literally 200 meters from the start line. Like there's people coming from all over. Everybody's going to the start boxes. 8,500 participants. And because it's my first time, I am in the last start box.
So many people were already lined up. Without a VIP or other special ticket, first-timers are always in the last box, no matter how strong you are. If you are starting in the last box this year, pay close attention, because this changes how you should ride over the first couple hours. Even in the yellow box, I was all the way in the back. And I knew that beforehand because I made the decision to come late. I needed my sleep and my mindset today was completely different than other races. I wasn't going to worry about making the first group because that was impossible anyway. Today was about pacing, nutrition and execution, not to race in the first group for the win.
6:10. It's still 20 minutes to the start, and then probably still half an hour till we start rolling because there's so many people in the start boxes. Right now it's raining. I didn't bring a rain jacket. I forgot to look at the weather this morning. Yesterday, no rain. Now, rain. Great way to start a 10-hour bike ride. Getting completely wet and too cold. So we wrapped up the cycling camp here in Alberto. Now I'm taking my backpack and riding to Alcudia, where I dropped off my family 2 days ago. Picked them from the airport, bring them to Alcudia, finished the camp. Now I'm on the bike. Tomorrow 312. Crazy planning. My amigo, thanks for everything. We're gonna see each other next year.
So I rode over to Alcudia to join family.
Straight to food. Get a carb up for tomorrow.
Picking up my race number, and then I tried to sleep early, which unfortunately wasn't successful thanks to the hotel entertainment team. About 40 minutes after the official start, the yellow box was getting close to being released. We progressed towards the start line bit by bit, and I could move up on the side road, and now I actually was pretty much in front of the yellow box. That would already save me a lot of overtaking, but I may have pushed my luck there. So, not even 5 minutes into the ride, I had my first flat tire.
Oh, nee je niet. This is great. Let's start the day with a puncture that doesn't seal.
3 weeks of riding on Mallorca, 0 flats, and now this.
Overtaking all these people for nothing. The whole bike is dirty. Fuck. Bump it, baby. Woo. Look at this, man.
So I plugged it quick and I was back on the road within a few minutes. Navigating through this crowd was kind of strange. It's not a real peloton. There's no flow, no drafting discipline. Everybody is randomly scattered all over the place. So it's clear the majority of cyclists today are non-racers. So my first pacing tip might be the opposite of what you think is smart to do, but do not go too easy. Riding in your recovery zone in the first couple hours would just make you lose a lot of time. You'll be tired at the end of the day anyway. Try to find a strong wheel to follow and overtake as many people you can safely before the first climb, because this is gonna help you tremendously at the feed zones later today.
Alright, we're approaching the first climb, Col de Femenia. Fixed the flat, picked up the pace, found the 2 boys that want to push. Here we go.
The rain at the start line was very cold, but now it's dry and we start climbing, so this would warm us up, and the weather today was actually going to be super nice. The pace at this moment is very important. This climb feels easy for almost everyone, as it's the first one of the day, and that's exactly where it's dangerous. Do not get overexcited and then go too hard. Stay well below your threshold, as we have a long way to go.
Sun's out, guns out, that's it. Just a little bit of rain, but it's all good. Climbing makes you warm. Yeah, buddy.
My pacing plan for today is low zone 2 on the flats and tempo to sweet spot on the climbs. Riding these numbers will only work if you have enough endurance to do this over and over and over again for hours and hours. But remember, we're on a sub 10-hour time schedule today. So that's the top of Col de Femenia, 23 minutes at 325 watts. The first and the longest climb of today is in the books. On this climb, I already found a few other guys, some fast guys, and I know it looks like we're absolutely smashing it here. And I don't want to be too braggy, but there's a big difference in fitness, and it will show up in climbing speed and even on speed on the flats. So if you are like me, aiming for a very fast time, I mean, you're with the strongest 10% of the participants today. So you will have to ride faster than the rest all day long and not hang in those slower wheels, because then you won't reach your goal. Here's another quick tip. On the descent, have your map display in front of you. Watch me slow down because there's a sharp left-hand turn coming up and this guy is just overcooking, flying past me. I shouted slow, slow, slow because I don't think he actually saw what's coming up. If you're on an unfamiliar descent, your map display can save you.
Map display in the descent, so you know there's a corner coming.
We're passing the first feed zone here. Hardly anyone is stopping, and neither am I. Nutrition today wasn't improvised. It was planned from the start to the detail. Let me talk you through it. I aimed for around 100 grams of carbs per hour for 10 hours straight, all in liquid form using the endurance drink mix and their 45-gram carb gels. My main rule is simple: eat for the hours ahead and not for the hours you've done already. If you wait until you feel hungry, you'll be too late. At the start, I carried enough fuel for the first 6 hours, and then I plan to rely on the feed zones for the final 4. I made sure that beforehand I knew exactly what would be available and how much I needed, so I don't waste time. And with my 2 big 1-liter bottles, I only had to stop for about 3 times in the entire day to refill my water. I use 4 endurance products in both training and racing, and I've never had any stomach issues by using them, so that is amazing. Use code CyclingFanatics10 and get 10% off what's already very competitive pricing. And to get back on that skipping breakfast,
take this oatmeal cookie, it's important.
If you want to eat before a race, it's best to do that 3 to 4 hours before the start to give your body the time to digest and to clear your stomach. Eating too close to the start will either make you feel very full or actually have you a sugar low when the gun goes off. I ate 2 energy bars 10 minutes before the start. And from there, I went all liquid as I just described. I've tried and practiced this many times during training, and it works like a charm. And the best of all, and the main reason why I did it today, you can sleep longer and you don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. to get your oatmeal before an early start.
Good luck with that.
Approaching Puig, it's actually the highest point of the entire island of Mallorca, and we're about to descend the longest descent on the island. What makes this extra nice is the fact that it's a closed road and you can use the entire width of the tarmac. If you're not the most confident descender, no problem, just stay on the right hand side and let the faster guys roll by. You'll be able to make up some time on the descent, but it's not going to be a deal breaker. There's much more time to lose when you crash, don't pace correctly, or forget to eat for an hour. I went down quick, but with very limited risk. The descent ends in Soyer, and here is when the race starts to thin out. Many of these roads I know very well from the CF cycling camp, but this section of the course I hadn't ridden before. From here it's like a rhythm of short climbs and short descents, constantly changing gradients.
Yo, Cycling Fanatics, let's go. What's the name of this climb, Alberto? In the direction of Valdemosa.
I'm riding with Alberto. I met him on the first climb, and he's a local. He's done this event many times. For me, this road is new, but for him, this is home. And on narrow descents like this, having somebody in front of you who knows every corner, that's worth gold. We just passed the town of Deja. We're 86 kilometers in, and I spot this super quiet water point. At the start, I actually only filled one of my 2 1-liter bottles. The other one only had the 90 grams of the endurance drink mix in it. intentionally saving about a kilo of extra weight on the bigger climbs earlier that day. Now that I was nearly out of water and this stop was very quiet, it was the perfect moment to refill fast. A quick pee and straight back on the bike. Planning ahead and making these small efficient decisions is what builds a strong 312. Short stops, knowing exactly what you need, no wandering, no sitting around, no unnecessary breaks.
Very quick stop at the 86k mark. So I've got 2 liters and I've got some bags of mixed powder so I can fill that up on the next climb. And I've got plenty of gel, so good to go for 3 hours.
Now I just had to close the gap to Alberto because he did not stop. But I managed to do so before Col on Claret and we rode that up together. On top I was messing with my Garmin again because I kept switching in and out of battery saving mode, otherwise it wouldn't last all day. But especially on these descents I needed my map display to stay on, because I had to know where I was going. I can't stress that enough. It was actually at this descent that one of the very skilled riders had a fatal accident this day. It's a reminder that this is a long, demanding day. And you can't switch off, not mentally, not technically. Pushing hard on a climb means you're out of breath in the descent. So always ride within your own comfort zone. We're approaching the first split. The shorter distance, the 167, goes left here towards Esporles and back to the finish. The 225 and the 312, they go into what I think is the most beautiful part of this race and actually the most beautiful part of the entire island of Mallorca, the coastal loop towards Andracht. And I know this road very well. We ride it every year during the Cycling Fanatics camp. It's wide roads, new tarmac, and just mind-blowing views. But something changed here. It gets quiet. There's not a feed zone, and there's nobody there. And this is why pushing good pace from the start will pay off. I've heard stories about people standing still, having to walk through these feed zones because it was so crowded all over the road. But I'm seeing none of that.
Get ready for a nice view.
We're still overtaking riders, but the density really drops. And this is where the race really starts to break. Groups will disappear. And you might become isolated. Even though I had thousands of people in front of me at the start line, soon I'm going to be all alone. So if you are preparing for this race, my advice is to find a buddy, like me and Alberto. This will keep you motivated and you can draft behind each other once in a while. I'm sure you'll find somebody of your pace on one of those earlier climbs.
So we just passed the town of Estellengs, chit-chatting with Alberto here. He had a fifth place? Fifth place a couple years ago in the 312. Today we're buddies. We're riding together. We're catching so many people. I lost count at 5,392, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna catch a lot more. Yeah.
Here's the last climb along the coast, Col de Femenia. 3.5 kilometers, 4.9%. It's a 10-minute climb. So at this point, I wasn't chasing groups. I was just riding my numbers, always pushing on the pedals, even on the downhills. Most of the climbing was actually already done, but the distance, we had a long way to go. And there was actually a small headwind, so I tucked in briefly behind my Spanish friends here to save some watts. If somebody's riding as fast as you or faster, you might as well just sit behind them, even when it's going uphill.
I said to Alberto I did Sacalobra in 27:43. Now he's telling everybody. Nobody wants to ride to the front anymore now. It's clouded, which is good. I've got 1 liter of energy drink left. So we're gonna stop in Esporles and then do another big leg towards ARTA. I asked my coach what I needed to push. He said 340 on the climbs, 250 on the flat. So I'm just following the orders, nothing else.
As you can see, the scenery just completely changed here. We've got much more narrow roads and now 3 small climbs to go before we have a very long downhill segment towards Alberto. Most of these uphills aren't very steep, so you can actually keep a nice pace, and on the descents you can keep pedaling. Keeping this consistent will make up time over the entire day, and I started to pick up more and more riders.
The Jasper train. Jasper sits at the front, push a lot of watts, everybody in the drop.
Few inches later.
Col de Galilea. Yeah, I was with a big group, but now they're all gone. So it's Jasper alone. Just me and myself and I. So far I feel great, man. But we still have 170k to go, so that's a lot. I don't know if I'm pushing too hard for a big day like that, but it's only one way to find out. Grau, start of the last climb. We've got Col de Femenia, but that's very short. Hey, where are all these people? I expected to be riding with thousands of people. There's nobody here. Literally, I'm all alone.
It was a very strange part of the ride. I was all by myself on a very nice little climb, but it seemed to be even more quiet than on a normal day without the event. I've been here many times, and usually you see a few cyclists. And I had only this climb left, and then I planned to refill all my water at that big feed zone in Esporles before we would hit that long downhill segment to Alberto. But this went a little bit different than I expected. As I arrived to that feed zone, I was so surprised. Hundreds of riders showed up out of nowhere. Because of the earlier accident, the riders had been held up and merged back in here. Immediately I made the decision to continue because I was so focused on not losing time. But with another hour to go to the next feed zone, I was really stretching it and I didn't have much water left. From Spoorless, it's a lot of fast downhill, so you really want to find a good group. I found a few guys, I started coaching them a bit to get some rotation going, to get up to speed. And I was taking big pulls myself to get the pace as high as possible. We were just flying through this segment. And most of the riders you see here, they are probably from the shorter distance that fused with us, just in a big feed zone in Spoorless as they skipped that entire coastal loop through Andrax.
Good job, man!
Approaching Alberto and we're just flying through the town. This is the base camp of the CF cycling camp. If you're planning to come to the 312, my camp is the perfect preparation for the event. I'll be there to give you personal tips and tricks, and we actually ride a very big part of the entire route. Go check out all the information on the website and be quick because the camp is almost full. Now, out of Alberto onto Col de Femenia. We've got a nice group, and then I got a second flag.
Second time, I'm plugging a tube. First need to find the plug.
Oh yeah, could be better, could be worse.
Little break on Toffla. Bad luck.
And this is something that I want to point out in this video. Bad luck will happen in a race this long. How you react mentally matters more than the minute you lose. And your mindset is what decides your reaction, not the circumstances. I already knew this was going to be a solo effort, and a flat or starting from the back wasn't going to change my goal. Sub 10-hour finish today and having a fun day out on the bike. It was just another problem to solve, another hurdle to jump. If you let a setback spiral you mentally, you'll have a really bad day. If you accept it and move on, you can still enjoy and make the most out of it. I think I know what the reason was, that I had 2 flats and that the latex didn't seal the hole, but without going into all details, make sure you have a good mechanic, and the next time I'll do my own tubeless setup again.
So now I'm all alone again. Approaching Josetta. I need to stop because I have no more water. I was in a nice group of guys, but they're gone.
190k in this race, and this was only my second stop. As I skipped my actually planned refill in Spoorless, I had no choice to fill up here. I was actually completely empty, and I was lucky I could use some water from one of the other riders in the last 30 minutes. Most people here were just taking their time, taking a break, and I had to find my way through the crowd to make it quick. These water taps were great to fill up fast, and now I needed to get some carbs. By now, everything I took from the start was empty, and I relied on the stuff they had in the feed zone. All I needed was 2 bottles of water and 5 gels. That would give me 250 grams of carbs, enough for the next 2 hours. There was 120k left, so I would only need to stop one more time. The next 20 to 30 kilometers were on narrow back roads, constantly zigzagging with corner after corner. I've got 200k on the clock, 110 to go. If you still have lags here, you've probably paced it correctly, but this is definitely where it starts to hurt. Nevertheless, I feel invincible. It's so crazy. After all these hours, I'm just pushing 250 to 300 on the flats, cruising well above 35k an hour, absolutely flying past other riders. And as the second half of this race is mostly flat, you've got some gear choices to make. I combined the best of both worlds with the Windspace SLC3, a pure climbing bike, paired with the Loon Performance Hyper Light wheels. Light enough for these long climbs, but still very aero and stable in these fast sections. And at high speeds, the wheels really make the biggest difference. The bike feels very stiff out of the saddle, but it's still comfortable enough to stay relaxed for 10 hours straight, which actually matters more than people think on a day like this. With the color details, I really like the look of this bike too, and as you've seen, I mounted that bell, which is the best decision of the day. There was one mistake I made on the bike setup, and that was folding my race number around my headset. I'll get back to that later. So as I'm flying past all these riders, there's one guy who sticks in my wheel, and it turns out it's a guy from SDBC, the Criterion team from San Diego, which I used to race in back in 2019 and 2020 when I was racing all these crits in the US. This is a small world. After a while, I started passing a big group, and these were the riders that I dropped on the Galilea climb a few hours ago. They all came past me when I was fixing my second flat on Col de Femenia, and now here they are again. Of course, they settle into my wheel.
Found to ride with, but they're all.
This is the second split of today. At this split, most of the riders actually went straight. Only the 312 continued into the final 80-kilometer loop. And this is where the real suffering begins. There were a lot of guys on my wheel that were only hanging in the back, so I started to ride a bit harder to see if I could shake off a few riders. Then I approached another group and I fused with them. And from here, it's predominantly flat and more open to the wind. So riding alone would actually not be the best option.
75k to go, guys. 2 hours. 2 hours flat. Easy. Got some nice guys with me. Together we're strong. Yoo-hoo.
241 kilometers in the feed zone in Ariani. According to my strategy, I would fill up here for the last 70 kilometers, roughly 2 more hours of riding. Most of the group actually rolled straight through, but I had to stop. Without refilling here, I wouldn't have enough to reach the next feed zone in ARTA, which is another 45k to go, so that was simply not an option. So I filled up quick, rolled out again to chase back on the group. As I only filled up water and grabbed the gels, I also took some salt pills to even out the hydration. Together with this other guy, we were pretty fast on the flats, and we closed back with the group. But every time the road tilted upwards, I could feel it. 250k and roughly 4,000 meters of climbing were starting to chew into my legs. And there was even a bit of cat and mouse going on within this group on the climb, so I really had to push hard to stay with them. There were 2 riders at the front, and they seemed to know the road pretty well, so they were descending pretty confident. And this part of the island was completely new to me, so having somebody at the front is super nice. And at 250 kilometers in, you need to stay mentally strong because it's not over yet.
$53k to go. This guy in black, he's pushing so hard, he must be joking. Yes, it's even written on your bid number.
And then finally, after about 80 kilometers from where I had my second flat, here's a few other guys that I caught back on. You can see how much difference a few minutes makes and how long it takes to catch back up when you're standing still.
Open the bottle. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I get it. Last speed zone. We're in ARTA, 30k to go.
$30k to go. It doesn't sound like much, but after 280, it feels like an eternity. From here, there's a lot of bigger roads, slight downhills, so going in a group could make it very fast, but the group is just empty.
Very good, keep it up.
Nobody wants to pull. Nevertheless, I could motivate them and organize a bit of rotation here. And even if you're good, rotating smoothly is way faster than letting gaps open and hanging off the back, which causes disturbance of the organization. Some guys who actually skipped that feed zone were out of water, so I was sharing mine as I now had more than I needed.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you're welcome. 10k to go. 300k in. Yeah, buddy.
From here, going solo wouldn't really gain me much time. But that doesn't mean the race spirit was gone. One rider actually jumped early and nobody reacted, so I waited. And then I placed my move. Here we go. Another rider tried to come with me. He did a pull, but he couldn't hold the pace. So I bridged to the early attacker. And from that moment, we committed.
Nice work, man. Nice work.
Both from the yellow start box, from the back, now riding off the front. I checked the time to see if I would actually reach my goal. And we weren't just under 10 hours. We were comfortably under, even faster than 9.5. If you're wondering what that actually takes, sub 10 isn't about smashing climbs. It's about staying controlled, fueling consistent, and being able to push after 200k. Sub 9.5, it usually means almost nothing goes wrong, or when it does, you handle it well enough that it doesn't define your day. The 312 isn't one massive effort, it's hundreds of small decisions stacking up. And yes, 5 watt per kilo FTP definitely helps, but even that won't save you when you pace it wrong. So we roll through the finish together, and that's when you can enjoy the moment and celebrate. After the line, I got welcomed by my family, 2 hugs from the kids and a kiss from Daisy. Unfortunately, I didn't see Alberto anymore, but I said hi to all the other riders.
Ja, vet goed.
Kan je nog lopen?
Every single one of these guys pushed to their limit today. Absolute cycling fanatics. And honestly, guys, that's what makes the Mallorca 312 so awesome.
Good job, man. Thank you. Awesome. Good, man. Thank you. Gracias. That's what we do it for. Another medal. Bang.
So the funny thing is, my timing chip never registered because I bended around my frame to be more aero. So officially, I did not have a result.
9 hours and 8 minutes, 34 kilometers per hour average, and 295 watts normalized power. Not bad. 9,400 calories burned. I'm gonna eat a lot.
When I compare my time, including the stops, to the official rankings, it would have placed me in the top 25 out of 8,500 riders, with 2 flats starting from the last start box. But way more important is that I had a fantastic day on the bike, and physically this may have been the strongest performance I put down ever. Guys, let me know what your goal time will be for the 312 in the comments below. Go check out that cycling camp and stay tuned because I've got some gravel race videos coming up. See ya!